Alright, this is the final Proverbs video, and then I am going to bed. This is the last one, and then I should be caught up, because today is the 8th, and this is Proverbs 8. If they don't upload like they're supposed to, they'll be uploaded on the 9th tomorrow. Hopefully I won't encounter any troubles. But if there are troubles, I am not staying up, because it's already 10:25. I'm sorry, but I'm already really tired, so I'm not really going to stay up if they don't work the first time. But they will be uploaded regardless the next day. And then we'll see about Esther and then the 2 new mystery series that I'm going to start on. I'm thinking about starting at least one of them this week, because it's Monday, I think, today? Yeah, today's Monday. If you don't know me, I have a very bad concept of time, especially days of the week. It was like Wednesday at camp, and I thought it was Monday. So, yeah. But I will do my best to do Proverbs tomorrow, Esther tomorrow, and maybe another book. Start a new series. Yeah, I have a new whiteboard. It's really useful, actually. It's already helping me a lot. It's got all of the series I'm going to be going over so far. It's got all the chapters, all my notes that I need, and then I can just cross it off when I'm done, or mark ones that I need to make up or go over that day. So, enough of that. We'll jump right into chapter 8 so I can start uploading and then go to bed. The blessings of wisdom is what chapter 8 is titled. So, does not wisdom call? Does it not understanding raise her voice? On the heights beside the way, at the crossroads she takes her stand, beside the gates in front of the town. At the entrance of the portals she cries aloud, to you, O men, I call, and my cry is to the children of man. O simple ones, learn prudence. O fools, learn sense. Hear, for I will speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance and the way of evil and perverted speech I hate. I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight, I have strength. By me kings reign, and rulers decree what is just. By me princes rule, and nobles will all who govern justly. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield is better than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness, in the path of justice, granting an inheritance to those who love me, and filling their treasuries. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of old. Ages ago I was set up, at the first before the beginning of the earth. When there was no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no springs abounding with water, before the mountains have been shaped, before the hills I was brought forth, before he had made the earth with its fields, or the first of the dust of the earth. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep. When he made firm the skies above. When he established the fountains of the deep. When he assigned to the sea its limit, so the waters may not transgress his commands. He marked out the foundations of the earth. Then I was beside him, like a master workman. I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in his inhabited world, and delighting in the children of man. And now, O my sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. For whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself, and all who hate me love death. That's a heavy ending. 35. Whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. Last verse. But he who fails to find me injures himself, and all who hate me love death. That's pretty heavy. We'll just kind of go over it section by section, and then I'll talk about a few things that are coming up, and then I'll upload and hit the hay for the day. Alright, let's start out. Kind of, when they talk about wisdom, it's interesting because it always is different. Like, sometimes it's referred to as a woman, and someone's talking about the woman. Sometimes it's talking about kind of like a idea. And sometimes it's wisdom just talking to you directly. And it kind of bounces around. Because in the first part, it talks in kind of like it talks about her, and it specifically refers to wisdom as a woman. And it's, you can, man, I'm struggling. It is too late for this. But then it says, to you, O men, I call, and cry is to the children of man. And my cry is to the children of man. So it's gone to first person, and it's, or I don't know. Wisdom's talking directly to us, and she's telling us that what she is and what she does. And she says in verse 6, "Herefore I speak noble things, and from my lips will come what is right. For my mouth will utter truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips." An abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twisted or crooked in them. They are all straight to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver, and my knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than jewels, and all that you may desire cannot compare with her. So, in the first part of that, she's telling us what she is. Her words are righteous. Everything that she utters is the opposite of wickedness. Wickedness is an abomination to her lips, and nothing is twisted or crooked that comes out of her mouth. So she is righteous, and she wants us to use her and seek her out and take her instruction instead of any other precious metal that is valuable in this world. Because in this world, those precious metals are worth millions. But wisdom in this life and in the next life is priceless. And that's what she's saying, is that all that you may desire cannot compare with her. Verse 11. So now it's stressing the importance of wisdom, which I kind of did in Proverbs 7, the last video. I got really into that one. But it's stressing again how important wisdom is. And then it goes on and says, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance are the way of evil, and perverted speech I hate. That's a lot right there. The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance are the way of evil, and perverted speech I hate. Pride and arrogance are the way of evil. Pride and arrogance, two things that everyone struggles with. And it says right here, they are the way of evil. and the fear of the Lord is the hatred of evil. So, let's make some connections here. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. And the fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. And the way of evil is pride and arrogance. So what it's saying is that all these things that we struggle with are in the way of us gaining wisdom. So we need to get rid of our pride and our arrogance to be able to obtain the fear of the Lord, which is the hatred of evil, and which is also the start of wisdom. So you can't have pride and arrogance and the fear of the Lord. Those two are pretty much opposites. They constantly contradict each other. So you can't just be proud. Like, it's okay to feel accomplishment and to be happy with your accomplishments, but you can't have pride and you can't be arrogant about everything you do or anything you do for that matter. And that's very important because those are two very hard things. But once you get rid of them, that's when you start to find the true fear of the Lord. And then that's when you start to hate evil. You hate pride, you hate arrogance, you hate every part of your life that is perverted and wrong in the sight of the Lord. And then you start to find knowledge and wisdom. And then you start to gain wisdom and seek it out. And that's when you start to mature in your faith. And that's when you really start to really look out for all of these things that are going to be in your path. Adultery, lust, just sins of all kind, anything of sinful nature. And that's what we really need to be aware of. And I just find that very powerful and very, very important. Verse 13, the fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride and arrogance are the way of evil, and perverted speech I hate. Just some things to think about. Continuing on in verse 14, I have counsel and sound wisdom. I have insight, I have strength, and by me kings reign, and rulers decree what is just. By me princes rule, and nobles all who govern justly. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even fine gold, and my yield than choice silver. I walk in the way of righteousness and in the paths of justice, granting an inheritance to those who love me and filling their treasuries. So right there again, it's saying what wisdom is and how important it is. And it says, by me kings reign and rulers decree what is just. So it's saying it's just expressing how important wisdom is again. And then I'm not going to go too in depth with 22 through 31, but it's basically saying that wisdom was with the Lord at the beginning of his work. It's always been there with him at the very beginning of his work, and the Lord has always rejoiced in it, and he's always rejoiced in the Lord. They've always been working hand in hand and rejoicing in each other because the Lord loves wisdom, and the wisdom loves the Lord. They're one and the same. The Lord is wise, and wisdom is from the Lord. So, kind of some things to think about. And then it says, 32 to 36, the last verses. And now, O my sons, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise, and do not neglect it. Blessed is the one who listens to me, watching daily at my gates, waiting beside my doors. And whoever finds me finds life and obtains favor from the Lord. But he who fails to find me injures himself, and all who hate me love death. So, those who hate wisdom are basically love death. They're already leading a life to death. They're already choosing their path. And it's not a path to life, it's a path to death and suffering. And it says, he who fails to find me injures himself. So not only the ones who hate wisdom, love death, but the ones who fails to find wisdom injures himself. So without finding wisdom, you're already hurting yourself. But then to go even further and hate wisdom, you love death, and you're on a path, a highway to hell, a pathway to death. But even without hating wisdom, if you fail to find wisdom, you're hurting yourself. So that's why it's not just like, yeah, I'll just be neutral and ignore and just won't seek out either, but I won't hate it, I won't love it, I won't seek it. If it finds me, great, but I'm not going to do any work for it. It's already saying, he who fails to find me injures himself, and all who hate him love death. So that is another reason. It's another reason why we should be seeking wisdom every day. I can't stress this enough for myself and for everyone watching and all those people around me. This isn't just about everyone watching or you guys. It's about me too. I struggle with the same thing everyone else struggles. I am not perfect. I am far from it. I am sinful. I am disobedient. I make stupid decisions, and I do my best to learn from them, but I still fall short. Which leads me back to Proverbs 24, verse 16, which always speaks to me. For the righteous falls 7 times and rises again, but the wicked stumble in times of calamity. As long as we get back up and keep going, that is what God wants from us. He wants us to try our hardest, love Him with all that we got, and keep seeking ways to find Him, and keep doing all that we can to stop from sinning. But to do that, we need to start seeking wisdom. We need to find it. We need to hold on to it. We need to not just stand there, because he who fails to find wisdom injures himself already. You're already getting away from him. And just like in chapter 7, the young man lacking sense, the battle's already over. He's already been seduced by the adulteress, and he does not know that it will cost him his life, and her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death. That is why it is so important to find wisdom, hold on to it, and keep finding wisdom, keep getting more wisdom, holding on to it, and not just holding on to it, but applying it, using it in everyday life, every situation, every second of every day. Guys, that's why it's so important. That's why we need it. That's why God gave us His Word. Final thought, it's kind of like the final thought of last video, chapter 7. It's just how far are you willing to go to gain the wisdom, and then from there on to hold on to the wisdom? How far are you going to get it? How far are you going to hold it? How far are you going to go to apply it? How far are you willing to go to use wisdom every second of every day in every situation of life? And guys, we really need to ask ourselves these questions. We need to use this, not just find it and hold on to it, but use it. And we need to ask ourselves how far we're willing to go to find wisdom and then apply it. How far we want to grow in our faith with the Lord. How far we want to grow closer to Him in our relationship with Him. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. How far are we willing to go? How much are we willing to sacrifice? Worldly pleasures, things we want to do so badly, but we just have to be strong and say no. How far are we willing to go, guys? It's so difficult at times, believe me, I know. But how far are we each willing to go? And recently, this has just come to me. How far am I willing to go? how far am I willing to go to continue to learn the Bible? And then how far am I willing to go to share it with others? Recently, I've been doing some soul searching. College is coming up. I got one more year of high school and then I'm out. This last year at camp, it hit me hard. It made me think of a path of life that I've never thought of before, becoming a pastor. And it's scaring me. It's scaring me right now. But that's kind of why I started this YouTube channel. I wanted to see how far I'm willing to go. How bad I want this. How bad I want to change lives. How much I want to help other people find the Lord. And then how much I want to find in myself. And this might seem so little and minuscule, but guys, this YouTube channel has really put into perspective what I want and how far I need to be willing to go to get it, how much I need to sacrifice. I might need to sacrifice one of my favorite hobbies because it's a bad influence on me. But how far are we all willing to go? It just puts it into perspective. Once you really get past the surface of the question and you really start to think about it, it puts so much into perspective. Not just this, but your whole life. How far are you willing to go for anything? How far are you willing to pursue worldly pleasures over pursuing God? How far are you willing to go for each thing that is important to you in your life? Perspective is everything. And we need to put the right things into perspective. And then from perspective, we need to put priorities in place. And God should always be number one priority, no matter what. Above family, above relationships, above school, work, worldly pleasures, ourselves, our health, our loved ones' health, everything. God should be first, no matter how hard it is. But we have to make that a priority, and from that priority, we have to gain perspective. And from that perspective, we need to ask ourselves and each other, how far are we willing to go? And I don't know, this YouTube channel's, it's hitting me hard, and it's putting a lot of perspective into my life. And I'm probably gonna start quitting a lot of my old hobbies and a lot of things, and I'm gonna start changing my life for the better, but it's gonna be cutting out a lot of the things that I love, a lot of the hobbies that I love to do. But it's how far I'm willing to go. It's kind of my final thought. There are a few things that I still have not quite messed with yet on YouTube. One is the shorts, which I'll mess with that later, but I'm thinking about going live at some point. I don't know. I'll probably mess around with that later in the week or later when the school dies down. But from now on, I'm just going to be kind of focusing on the series. Proverbs, we're going to keep going. Astro, we're going to keep going. I have 2 new series. The next one, I'm probably going to try and start it this week, I'm going to be honest. But I was speaking about college earlier. I think I finally know what I want to do. I am planning on going to Sterling College as of now. Like I said, plans might change. My plans have changed like 4 or 5 times in the past year. So right now I'm planning on going to Sterling College and getting a dual degree in creative writing, and one of 3 biblical majors that they have. There's 2 of them that I'm currently looking at. Don't know quite which one I'm gonna choose yet, but we'll cross that bridge closer to the time when I go to visit the college again. But then after college, I'm planning on becoming a pastor, and then at the same time becoming a Christian author. That's kind of the plan right now, but I don't know. I still don't really know what the Lord has in store for me. I'm kind of just trusting Him and going for it and seeing where it'll take me, but this YouTube channel is definitely changing my life, and that's why I'm continuing to do it, not just for you guys, but it's also for me. So, again, how far will we all go? It's kind of the final thought. And this is officially the longest video I've ever done. So, cool milestone there, but it's kind of all I have. Yeah. I'll release, if these don't upload and I have technical difficulties, these 3 will be uploaded tomorrow, along with Proverbs 9 and Esther 3. Unless I've already done Esther 3, I need to check on that. I don't remember where I'm at on Esther. That's kind of why I have this whiteboard, because I have so much on my mind and brain that I just can't remember everything. That's why this board is important. But it's kind of all I have. Later.